And the thing's on the wrong screen. Let me switch the screen. All right, a little bit of an early start today, but still getting everything set up. Just figured I'd just fire this up. It was kind of along the path anyways. Let me open up TradingView so we can look at Bitcoin, how badly it's just been getting a smackarooski. Peter, good morning. Pop, good morning. Patrick, good morning. Trin, good morning. ES is breaking the low, coming down to the low of yesterday, that spike low. Oh, this was... Let's just watch real quick and see what we see. See if they're going to hold right here. Yesterday's low in a little bit. Coming right to it. And remember, so what I talked about yesterday, right? There is opportunity here. We're seeing a lot of people. There's a little bit of absorption down here on the low, but yeah, they're going to keep going. What I talked about yesterday in the trade view is that today is possibly, could be a day for capitulation. We saw so much selling yesterday, and there was only 4 or 5 positive stocks yesterday in all of the S&P 500. So if you figure that starts hitting the news, even the people that didn't see the market yesterday, that don't really track their stocks, and they see, damn, the S&P is down 10% in 3 days, and that's where their retirement funds are at. We're talking about, people that don't really watch their money because they're just kind of chilling. They're starting to get to that point where, oh shit, maybe I should pull some of my money out just in case. And I think that's, something that we've just got to, not saying that it's gonna happen, it's just something that we've got to be aware of the possibility after a day like yesterday. So we go below yesterday's low, and now we're coming back inside yesterday's range. So here we're just gonna look for acceptance. I mean, really, I don't really want to trade inside the spike at all, to be honest with you. If I'm looking for a long, well, I don't know. You just got a bunch of short covering down here at 35. And so if this thing gets back up above probably like 40, yeah, if it gets back up above like 42, there's good odds that it just keeps going up. But so anyways, what I'm saying is, like, I really don't want to trade inside the spike just because of how choppy today's been. I'd like to see us get back up above, at least up above the settle. Remember that 50-50 was a big level and seemed like there was a possible buyer there yesterday. So, maybe they can get enticed by this price again. That's a price that they like. They come back in when price is above, they start buying it. We catch some moves to the upside. So we're back above that 42 here, and here's kind of that situation. If sellers don't come back in and start hammering this thing back down, it'll probably rotate back up to the settle, or at least back up to like this area here, this weak spot at 47, 46. So they sell it down off that 42. Hopefully our YouTube channel doesn't get banished today. Yesterday. Okay. So yeah, I mean, for me, this is just like an area that I just don't really want to mess around in, right? I'd like to see the market establish above this or establish below it and then just go with whichever way it goes. There is good odds, though, that we go like this, right? And so we've got to be very careful on these entries in your positions today because the market, you know, if you've been watching since the open, it's been really, really choppy today. So there it is. Once they weren't able to hold that 42, there, you know, it made sense that they would be coming back up to the settle to get above the settle. We saw them move down, right? No volume accompanied them, only a little bit of short covering off that yesterday's low, right? As soon as they got below yesterday's low, they started to cover their shorts. Boom, it came in. Big buyer on the 37.52 100 lot order. Wait till you see 10K BTC. This is going to be fun. You think we'll see 10K? What a little paparuski here, huh? My goodness. Target here is probably the 62 quarter. If they're able to get this going right up here, this you can see where this kind of volume shelf's at. This is on the way down where sellers were starting to absorb from, and that's what kind of pushed the B period down below A. My VWAP is up at 3766. Um, right up here. And then you can see where the VPOC is actually up here near the open 70. Let's look at this chart real quick while the market's just kind of chilling for a second. We can see the tick starting to get a little bit oversold, right? A little bit too much buying up here, getting close to that 1,000. And, you know, we know that this sometimes can mean that the market's oversold. The way that I look at it is if we're hitting 1,000 tick, but we're not making a new high or a new low, and it's especially in this case because, you know, in reality, B period opened up, we came down, C period opened up, we came down. We're above the C open, but still really nothing crazy. So, you know, this is kind of a little bit telling us there might be a little bit too much buying. You can see the weighted sectors trying to come back. Only energy really holding the market on right here. Oracle's up 8%, but you can see very scattered, about 1,000 times better than yesterday, right? You can see positive breath indicating that most likely the market can be a bit rotational, which we have seen today. And then I wanted to look at, it's not red, what's going on here? These levels. So these put levels that I was talking about, or like put call levels is what I call them. So 370, so that'd be 3700 on the ES and 3850 are the levels on the SPY. The QQQ, okay, so we're past one of these negative. We need to add here. So basically what I think, right, and this is just what I'm thinking here is, well, we're just gonna keep going up. There's that 62 on the ES. Hopefully you guys are still just holding on. Down 60 points and it's getting to your psychology. Damn, Pop. Sorry to hear about that. Today's been a choppy day, man. What's up, TJ? But anyway, so what I'm thinking about these levels, right, is let's say that the market comes back down. And this is the QQQ. So this is attached to the NASDAQ, right? So if the if the QQQ gets below this 275 level, that means dealers, market makers would have to start selling, or they would sell the QQQ, right? Because they're short puts and long calls. So dealers are almost always double long, right? That's why when you get some of these, kind of I call them psychological moves or emotional moves in the market, that you get these big responses because dealers are trying to rebalance their inventory, right? And like we've talked about, if you think about a dealer, they're not really worried about, taking a trade from 373 to 382. They're just worried about getting out of this trade 273. They're just worried about getting out of this trade at any positive. It doesn't matter, even if it's one tick, right? As long as they're able to move the flow of the auction, that's their job, right? So we have a level that if they get down there, they can go double negative, and so now we kind of see the line in the sand. And so I don't know the translation to the Nasdaq. Let me look it up. 275. I just don't trade the triple Q or the Nasdaq. To Nasdaq difference. Let's see. Well, not soon, but it's possible. Just takes a few black swans. Our leaders are good at those, and plus Nancy needs her trades. Do you think she's short? Do you think she's short crypto? I doubt it. I bet she's long as fuck. Yeah, I don't know the conversion. Okay, here we go. The QQQ is valued at 1/4. So if we look at the Nasdaq, which is at 11,370, let's call it 11,3 times 0.25 equals. Nope. Maybe there's not a conversion. I don't know. But anyways, we'll just keep I'll have that alert on, and if we know if the Nasdaq starts to break that level, then we might see dealers start to sell the market. Dan, what's up, man? Double R, two interesting things happened today. A friend who I've never spoken about investing asked me if he should buy Bitcoin, and my dad, who's invested once in his life, asked me if he should. Yeah, that's I remember when my dad called me and asked me about Dogecoin. I was like, too late. Actually, I think he did make some money off of it still. Oh, there he is. What's up, Dan? What is this here? Republican leadership press conference is going on right now, so who knows what they're gonna say? It could get a little bit crazy. So we've got excess on both sides now, and back inside yesterday's range and just rotating. Right, we have value overlapping to lower, just barely overlapping. Still above the, well, inside the spike, I guess, for now. Byron, hello. You know me, just low time framing. Oh man, hopefully I paused that. If I didn't, sorry for your eardrums, probably below. So I don't know, it kind of looks like, so it kind of looks like what they're doing is gathering a bunch of inventory below the VWAP here. We just saw the point of control shift down right there, right? So it looks to me like they're gathering a bunch of inventory. What happens next obviously will tell us for sure. Um, but something I see them try to do a lot is they gather all the inventory, push it up above the VWAP. A bunch of VWAP traders start to pile in. This is where a re-offer spot is at. So we could see sellers, especially Globex point of control is here. You could see responsive selling come in here. If the market doesn't capture this level rather quickly, and I'm talking about the open, getting above the open and holding and pressing for that B high, then it is probably a trap, and then the market will come back down. That's typically what I see them do in situations like this. They'll need to get above the 62 quarter first, because this is kind of where this is the first area here where sellers have been active. But above that, they'll need, I mean, they'll pretty much need like a 78 or 71 is the, yeah, they'll probably need like 78 minimum to get these sellers out of the way, or just to make the sellers less active, right? Because when you think about the auction sometimes, right? Think about an auction where you don't really have very many. Let's say the past couple of days, right, where we were coming down, right, huge gaps above, and it seemed as if, like on this day, right, it seemed like there was just nobody buying, right? The only thing that happened was just people just liquidating every chance they got. It just seems like a buyer's strike, like Jim Dalton calls it. And so when you have something like this at an auction, at a two-way auction, which is what we're watching, right? So let's say we auction up, you know, 390. Do I hear 392, 393? No buyers show up. Okay, do I hear 392? No. Do I hear 391? No, still no buyers, right? And then it becomes this emotion, and that's what causes this gap, because no one's doing any business. Sellers are not coming down to sell, buyers are not buying that price either, and then you have an emotional gap. One buyer sitting down here saying, oh, you know, I'd buy it if it came down here, and you know, one ambitious seller saying, you know what, fuck it, I'll sell it down there. Sells it, and then boom, another auction starts down lower, right? That's how you should be thinking about it. Um, you always want to be thinking about it is not just, you know, oh, there's more sellers than buyers. Sometimes it's not a matter of if there's more sellers than buyers. Sometimes there is just nobody buying, and sometimes there's just nobody selling. We saw like basically all of 2020, all of late 2020, after, you know, like July until January, or till, I mean, pretty much, yeah, like January 1st this year. No, there was nobody selling. There was no supply in the market. The only people selling were weekended traders and hedge funds trying to get lucky to time the market crash, and they just got punished for, you know, a year and a half. And that's because they're misinterpreting the auction, right? They're like, oh, well, everything says we should be going down. Well, yeah, things can go down, but not if there is nobody selling. And same thing, we can't go up if nobody is buying either. And so, I mean, the whole reason I kind of bring that up, right, is that we have this 62 level as a level that sellers have been actively willing to initiate. Well, if they stop initiating shorts from here, the next target that makes sense is this 72, where all that volume from overnight came in and the open. So this could be a responsive short from the highs today, especially on a really rotational day inside yesterday's range. Um, if they don't show up here and the market comes up here, what I mean is if buyers don't show up and start initiating higher prices, then even though that there's not very many sellers, or there's no really sellers being responsive because of the trend itself, right? More people are kind of willing to get out of their position to sell. And so that's what, and then, that's what causes the rotation. And we've seen today just been pretty much a chop fest all day. Can't wait for the market to stabilize so you can take a position, let it go for a few days. Yeah, that'd be nice. Crypto Mojo, what's up, man? There was another interesting thing today, a couple actually. Patrick posted about Nicaragua allowing Russian troops in to do, I don't know, practice drills. I don't know why they need to work in Nicaragua, like a climate like Central America, just hot and humid as fuck. Like, I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. And then also, if we take a peek over here and let's look at natural gas. Did natural gas get clapped today? Yeah. So look at this. So natural gas got clapped today hard. And then I saw an article about EU energy cost. Um, where is it at? Here we go. So some European factories are being forced to shut down due to soaring global energy prices, report says. European factories are shutting down, blah, blah, blah. Wall Street Journal, rising prices are making it difficult for European factories to stay competitive. Russia supplied around 40% of the European Union's natural gas in 2021. There was more to the article that I was reading. Maybe I found it on Twitter. I'll keep looking for it. But basically it was saying that energy prices in the EU are going up like £100 or €100 per something. I don't know. It's hard because America is like the only country in the world that does everything their own way. Oh, you guys do liters? Nah, we're gallons, bro. Oh, you guys do kilometers? Oh, we do miles. Like oh, you guys do what's that's how you know. Go up to somebody, like, how many grams are in an ounce? And if they answer you quickly, be like, oh, okay. Where is this article at? Regular trading hours. Where the fuck is this article? I'll find it, guys. I don't know where it's at, but I'll try to find it eventually. The EU is printing 10 times more money than the US. Yeah, in comparison. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. But anyways, basically what it was saying is like it's going up like £100 per unit used or something like that. I mean, it just seemed like a lot, but I know articles are meant to do that. I should have saved it, but I was looking at it on my phone. Fucking phone's worthless. Did I tell you guys about that note app that I've been using? Yeah, RTH low and RTH high. Yeah, regular trading hours high, regular trade. Where is it at? Oh yeah, if I typed RTH, it definitely means regular trading hours. Are you looking at which time frame are you looking at? Or what page are you looking at? Oh yeah, that's RTH. Yeah, regular trading hours. Yeah, yeah, dude, it's down about 1%. Oil's the only thing that's up right now. Biden's on right now, and he is just so funny. So he's just bashing Trump and talking about how the unemployment rate was so high with Trump. And everyone's like, yo, but gas prices were low. ESPN got freaking. Bitcoin's kind of hitting into that low liquidity level as well, where with this poor low holding for so long, it just seems like supply just dried up down there last night or yesterday, like yesterday evening. Back Jack. Hey, your short field 2270.50. Nice. Papa Biden, move it down. Dude, he's over here just he is just funny, man. He's like a America's grandpa, you know? Just says whatever the fuck he wants. I can bring it up, yeah. Find it. I'm watching on my iPad, so. The dollar's breaking up right here too. Share the sound real.
Gave them what my dad used to call just a little bit of breathing room. The next step was the bipartisan infrastructure law. And now not only is it infrastructure week, we've arrived at infrastructure decade. And people are going to see a lot of it. We got to remind them where it's coming from. We announced nearly $3 billion this year to improve more than 3,000 airports across 50 states this year. This year. We announced $5 billion so union workers can get to work building a national network of electric vehicle charging stations. We announced the largest investment in public transit in American history, more than the entire Amtrak system when it started. $20.5 billion. And the people we come from, like when President Obama used to always give me the good assignments. Well, I remember one day walked in, not a joke, and said, "Joe, fix Detroit." I said, "Okay, no problem."
The triple Q is breaking that 375 level here.
Kidding. What I didn't realize, I thought I knew a lot about the cities.
Shorts look like they're covering.
Detroit, the vast majority of the people living in the cities, their jobs are out of town because they're not doing manufacturing in towns anymore. Out of town. So we got a rail system for them. We got a freight system. We got a bus system. It changed it. It's growing. It's going to create more good jobs using products that are made in America. And folks,
a little bit of short covering there. Let's see if there's going to be a seller that comes down and tries to initiate below the Globex low. If not, price will get back up above the 46, and you'll know that there's no initiated selling down here. The breadth is pretty weak. The tick is hitting below 1,000, or it did hit below 1,000, at least on the 5-minute right there. And you're starting to get more selling in the unweighted sectors than the weighted sectors here. So there is decent odds that this thing does pop back up. Not saying that it's gonna, but it's just saying decent odds unless we get some selling.
It's about rebuilding the middle class. And that's why we made sure that the
selling needs. This is where the selling needs to come in below 41.
Labor protections. For example,
below 40, really.
I insist that the overwhelming majority of the funds included in the law are subject to Davis-Bacon requirements. Union has to do it.
There's a seller coming down 41.75, and they moved again. He's back.
It's not just because I want to help unions. It's simple. They're the best in the world.
Moves again.
Infrastructure. We should have. You know what I always find we don't talk enough about, and I'm not going to take the time today. But you know what? You don't just decide you want to be a pipe fitter or an electrician or whatever else you want to pick. It takes you 4 or 5 years. Hard work.
All right, we have some sellers moving down to that.
Fortunately, you can get these
45.
You can get paid to do some of it. But my point is, people don't realize, and I see every place I go, and you've heard me do it at Chambers of Commerce.
There they go. Now they're moving down.
Best trained workers in the world. So folks rebuilding our country will earn a prevailing wage. They should. Another thing the law does, it's help expand registered apprenticeships. Remember when the business said, we'll take care of the apprenticeships? Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Come on,
right back to the 40. More short covering down there at the low.
Come on. Union partnerships will allow workers to earn while they learn.
A lot of these sellers were flexing up here on the 45, so if it gets back to that 45, they could just give up and they'll probably let it come back
having strong roads and bridges.
Up to that 50, I guess.
It's about making sure that here in America, folks who work hard can live their lives with dignity and respect. That's why I continue to call on Congress to finally pass the PRO Act, which will make it easier for workers to organize
A lot of selling down here on the 40. They're trying to hold it.
You know, when Franklin Roosevelt
Breath is
passed the
flipped
NLRB,
red.
it didn't say you can't have unions. It said we should encourage unions. That's what NLRB says. It's a big difference. And look,
Nasdaq's getting a lot of volume down here. It's also
pro-union.
ES too.
I'm saying it because I'm pro-American. Folks,
It's just not at the low. It's off the low. It's just like a bunch of short covering.
that's the approach I've taken to build this economy. And what has to be done? Well, we brought down COVID deaths by 90%. We opened schools and businesses that were shuttered. It all created the greatest job recovery in American history. What people don't want to talk about these days, but it's true. Since I've become president, we've created 8.7 million new jobs in 16 months, an all-time
Watch
record.
this 45, 46 level.
And even last month, 390,000 jobs.
They get back above
And
here.
600,000 new manufacturing jobs. They
Maybe
said
whoever's trying
manufacturing
to
is
sell
dead
down here
in
at the
America.
40 start to cover some of their position.
Look, folks, our unemployment rate is near historic lows.
Let me lower them down.
3.7%. And millions of Americans are leaving. I love these guys talking about why these guy left my employment, went to another job. Because he got paid more. Isn't that awful? Isn't that a shame that they got to compete for labor? Better paying
Oh, I pause it.
better jobs for them and their families. It's been a long time since that's happened in this country. But it's happening now, and it's working. Since I took office, to your help, families are carrying less debt nationwide. They have more savings nationwide. More Americans applied for new small businesses last year than ever before in American history.
American history.
5.4 million new small business applications. Jobs and companies are coming home again. We're making Buy American a reality, not just a slogan. I award no contracts.
He's always
the
throwing
federal
digs at Trump, bro. Like, give it
They
up.
can prove they bought it in
Got
America.
a beef. Let's fight this thing in the ring already.
And by the way, Republicans like to portray me as some kind of big spender. We have spent a lot of money. But let's compare the facts. Under my predecessor, the deficit exploded, rising every single year, and all the benefit going to the top 1%, basically. Under my plan,
QQQ is back above that mark now.
we cut the deficit by $350 billion. Doing all this.
So they're still just holding this
Talk about
42,
Biden wants to spend more on
40,
schools and all
like
that
up to like
stuff. Guess what?
45, really.
He's going to create a deficit. Ladies and gentlemen, this year,
45 is where they've kind of
fiscal
been
year,
flexing, like, hey,
we
I'm
will
here
have
if
cut
you want to
the
film me.
federal deficit by another $1.6 trillion in 1 year. 1 year. So when they come to you and talk about big spenders, let them know. Almost $2 trillion in deficit reduction. I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
He doesn't want to hear any lies about reckless spending.
And because of the facts, this year,
Me neither, bro.
we're delivering the biggest drop in deficit in the history of the United States of America.
So here's their third chance, or second-ish, third chance right here, trying to push the low from the 40 here.
Look,
See if they can get
the
it.
point is this. Under my plan for the economy, we made extraordinary progress. And we put America in a position to tackle a worldwide problem that's worse everywhere but here. Inflation. It's sapping the strength of a lot of families. I grew up in a household
QQQ is back
not
below
far
that
from here,
level.
Claymont and Wilmington, where the price of a gallon of gasoline went up. It was a conversation at the dinner table. It mattered. It mattered to my working family. It mattered if the price of food went up. A problem is, Republicans in Congress are doing everything they can to stop my plans to bring down costs on ordinary families. That's why my plan is not finished and why the results aren't finished either. Jobs are back, but prices are still too high. COVID is down,
or low.
Gas prices are up. Our work isn't done. But here's the deal. America still has a choice to make. A choice between a government by the few, for the few, or a government for all of us. Democracy for all of us, an economy where all of us have a fair shot and a chance to earn our place in the economy. My plan is simple. First,
It's not normal to have riots every other
in my
week.
power to blunt Putin's gas price hike. Just since he invaded Ukraine, it's gone up $1.74 a gallon because of nothing else but that. So I have a plan to bring down the cost of gas and food. It's going to take time, but let the world coordinate the largest release, what I've been able to do.
I'm spending.
The largest release of oil from the global fund in history. 1 million barrels a day. And 240 million barrels to boost global supply while I convinced other nations to join us. To keep prices from rising.
Well, the market likes that.
Even more.
They're like, okay,
and I'm working
okay.
closely with our European partners.
This gas is $7 at my house, so.
2 million tons of grain locked in Ukraine out onto the market to help bring down food prices. Folks, look. What Putin's war has done is not only try to wipe out the culture of the Ukrainians, decimate people and commit innumerable war crimes, but he's also prevented the grain, thousands of tons of grain that are locked up in those silos ready to be exported, but they can't get out through the Black Sea because they get blown out of the water. So we're working on a plan to get it out through other countries by rail. But guess what? Ukraine has a system like Russia has a rail.
Watch the 45 level. If it breaks, you might start to see some short covering back up to the settle.
In Europe. So we're going to build silos, temporary silos, in the borders.
Sellers are trying to hold here, 42 to 45. This is their last kind of straw down here. They tried to break the low like a million times.
Those cars into those silos, into cars in Europe, and get it out to the ocean, and get it across the world.
Those poor bastards.
But it's taking time.
Second, yeah, gas prices don't. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's true. So, how do you say it?
Middle class families.
Rue. I'll say Rue. Yeah, Rue said gas prices have nothing to do with the pipelines being shut down. It's amazing how these people can lie.
Most middle class and working class families do is they look at that monthly.
But see, the thing is, most people just don't know, and most people won't pull the fucking supercomputer out of their pocket to find out.
Everything. So if portions of that go up, one of the ways to deal with inflation for families is bring.
Yeah, it does in Europe, but that's not what he's talking about.
100,000 people with type 1 diabetes are paying up to $1,000 a month for insulin. We can make sure they pay no more than $35 a month.
So they gave it up. They're trying to get back above that settle. Kind of their target here.
And by the way, drug companies will still do very well. It'll cost them $10 to develop that insulin. So they're making 3.5 times their cost. My plan gives Medicare the power to negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies, just like the Veterans Administration does. Bring down the average cost of prescription drugs is a gigantic way. It really does. It affects the total amount of money you got to write out of that checkbook. So gas is up and food is up, which we're going to get down come hell or high water. But there's other things we can do beyond getting the price of insulin down to $35 a month. Imagine the difference it could make. Imagine the difference it can make if, in fact, you had other things.
So they're back above the settle. This is where they're going to try to
just imagine if you're in a situation,
get some buyers in. Like, hey, we're back above the settle. Let's do this. Start targeting that 62 level again that they've been trying a couple of times.
4 years old, increasing exponentially their possibility of going out no matter what kind of family they come from in terms of educational standing, to raise the standard for people. Imagine what we could do if we
Let's not forget about, we are one time framing to the low side, kind of, I guess. I don't know. D period's pretty much inside of C. It's kind of pathetic at the low too, so.
Well, there should
But value is overlapping to lower for sure.
We could easily afford to do it. Look, we could do the same thing. But I really mean it. Think how that would change the families that you represent. Think how families change the circumstances for working class people. And by the way, we could do the same thing with utility bills. Congress would ease the cost of families today by passing the clean energy investments I proposed. Things like tax credit for business to produce cleaner energy. Tax cuts for families that make their homes more energy efficient, which is the way would mean a lot more jobs, by the way, for some folks in this room. I met with nearly a dozen of large CEOs of the largest 12 utility companies in America. They said if you pass that tax cut, that tax credit for modernizing the homes, winterizing, et cetera, we will guarantee we'll immediately lower the average cost of energy cost $500 a year for the average family. That'd help a lot. And in the long run, it would help finally make America truly energy independent.
You know, if you fucking put plastic on your windows, it keeps it warmer. Like, you fucking, that shit is cheap. Dollar store.
We've laid out concrete plans for families.
People are just
to save money.
You know what? Here's a $5 trillion bill. And we'll tell you about the, 100 million that's going towards the stuff you like. The rest of the money, don't worry about it. You wouldn't understand. It's a secret.
It's going to lower the cost of high-speed internet for every family in America by $30 a month. That's a lot of money. And it's a lot of jobs. Look, we can do all this. All I'm asking is for the largest corporations and the wealthiest Americans to begin to pay their fair share in taxes. I'm deadly earnest.
I'm deadly earnest? What the fuck is that?
Anybody out there think the tax system is fair? Raise your hand. Look, under my plan, I made this commitment in the beginning and nothing's changed. No one making less than $400,000 a year will pay a single solitary penny more in federal taxes. Nobody.
What about the rich?
But we'll no longer have a situation where 55 of the largest Fortune 500 companies made
they're not able to hold the settle if market comes back down to the volume.
Last 2 years, and paid zero in federal income tax on that profit. $40 billion. In fact, no, it's a fact. I know it sounds like I give you my word, it's a fact. The fact is we've got about roughly 790 or so billionaires in America. You know what their average tax rate is for billionaire? I'm serious now. This is dead earnest. You can check it out. 8%. The tax rate for all of you is significantly higher, 2 to 3 to 4 times higher. Tax rate. I say it again, 8% in federal taxes. Anybody in this room who thinks that, I know you don't think it's fair, but we got to do something about it. And by the way, it's not just labor, organized labor, unions.
All right, there's only so much that we can do and just listen to the same bullshit over and over. He says the same thing every time he goes on. Sometimes he's funny because he's making jokes. Bragging about lowering debt 380 billion, people cheer, but they don't know we're 3 trillion in debt. Yeah, I mean, TJ, I don't even think people can comprehend how much that is. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen million compared a billion in time, in seconds? Yeah, they said, okay, so this is the thing that I think they don't really grasp, like 1 million seconds, right? And that's basically what we do, is we trade our time for money when we have a job, right? And so A million seconds is 12 days. A billion seconds is 31 years. A trillion seconds, probably, let's see, how much is a trillion seconds? A trillion seconds. Oh, how much is a trillion? A trillion seconds is 31,709 years. Like, Jesus, that's a long time. 31,000 years. It's just like, it's mind blowing to see, like, the difference. You never really comprehend that. Like $1 million, you're like, ooh, that's a lot. But $1 billion is just 1,000 times that, and it's like you go from 12 days to 31 years. That's the difference if you think about it. That's a long fucking time. It's a lot of money if you think about it in dollars, right? That's a lot. Let's see. Gas prices have nothing to do with the pipe. Oh, we already read that one. Even in the EU, there are things they could have done. I'm an oil and gas guy in Texas, so everything is Biden saying about energy prices is a lie. We could have $1.5 gas overnight. Yeah, definitely could. Definitely could. It's just not gonna. Yeah, a lot of the Baltic states poker, they're fucked, and I know that's where you're at too. But yeah, they're kind of chapped until. I mean, maybe if I heard, well, not heard, I guess, but Biden was kind of talking about how he's gonna go to Saudi Arabia and make a deal with the Saudis, and that's gonna alleviate some of the gas prices, and maybe the Saudis will start dealing gas to Europe. We'll see what's up. Market moved back down to volume, couldn't find initiated seller again, and is now moving back up. We're starting to see, I mean, really just rotation, honestly. Like, I mean, you just look at this market, it's just rotational the whole time. You have this poor low kind of indicating to me what it looked like is supply is drying up down here. No one willing to initiate some shorts. Let's take a peek at the volume. Um, you know, the downside, right? Selling rallies today is definitely probably the safer play. And I'm just, like I had saying earlier, I'm just not taking any trades in here. Well, even really down to here. I have tried a little bit of a fade a couple of times off of that D low or D low ish. I was long from 39, 40, 39.50, and 40 quarter. But I'm not in a position anymore. So there's opportunity if you can identify stuff like that. But the reason I'm saying this is kind of like a no trade zone is because most of the time in here it's really choppy and there's no real clear direction. And if you just kind of stay out of stuff like that or just be patient and wait for your levels to come, a lot of times you'll find those opportunities. BTC and ETH both printing reversal patterns on the 5-minute. Believe I can fly. Remember, this is that E period, that Euro close period. So a lot of the people that were selling, if you figure Europe been selling all morning and they closed during E period, they're all gone out of the way. Market's looking to trade up to 62, it looks like. They just gotta hold the settle. Buyers here for BTC futures, but it looks like they're being absorbed. BTC setting up for bearish 3 drive. Bearish 3 drive after breaking the bear pennant down a couple of hours ago. Unless the Nas absolutely rips, I think we're gonna test 21,000. The Nasdaq is going up. That is for sure. Nasdaq's already broke the previous. Nasdaq already broke its D high. Yeah, the Nasdaq kind of popped up right there, pretty hard. But the ES just can't hold it above the settle today. They're just struggling hard. Oh, on the you're trading the 5 minute. That's right. To be honest, I wouldn't even a bearish 3 drive. I wouldn't even know, and I wouldn't know the difference between a bear pennant or a or a bull pennant. To be honest, unless it's you call it a flag, bull flag, bear flag. That's the same thing, pennant. Then I would know. More of a triangle man myself. Let me some triangles. Well, so think about what that means, Dan, right? If you're getting a market delta that's going up, but prices are going lower, you know, they're just being that's just telling you the patience that they're having. Oh, I like it. Make a bet. Yes. I love some bets. You hate triangles. Damn, bro, you gotta get on the bandwagon, bro. Triangles are where it's at. Big buyer, the 37.47 right there, 100 lots. Right after up at the 47, it looked like buyers were starting to cover. It looked like some buyers came in around that 42 this past time, to be honest. So let's see if they're going to keep stepping up and kind of scaring the price up a little bit higher. This 42 to 45 area has just been an area the market's been through about a million times. That Globex low and then all the volume down here around the 42. Warriors dominated last night, if anyone watched. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't use I think I probably don't use triangles the same way that other people use them, I guess. Because I'm not really looking for like a confirmation pattern or anything. I'm just monitoring. I just use my triangles to monitor trend, right? Because I'm always just trying to be on the same side of trend. So if we get above a triangle, well, then I want to go with the above triangle. If we get below the triangle, I want to go below the triangle. I'm not looking like, oh, this is a bearish triangle. As soon as it gets to the bottom, I'm getting short. I'm monitoring for continuation. I mean, I'm not just trading a pattern ever. I said, there is no holy grail, unfortunately, that can just show us the way all the time. Offer moving down to that 51 this time. So you can see the offer is getting higher and higher every time here, right? Because we did have an offer at the 45. Well, first it was the 40, then it was the 45. Now it's the 51. Why they're choosing the 51, only God knows. But see if it trades. Here we go. Done yet. There it goes. Someone scoops it up. Look for them to hold. This 50 to like 52.75 is a really thin spot in the profile today, as you can see. And it just jumps over it right there. 37.49. Look to be some trying to aggressively time that trade and missed. But look at the VPOC right here on 53. They tried to hold down the 50 position. It just didn't really work. The buying doesn't look super strong right here, though, so I'm kind of cautious, but I'm still looking for that 62 above the settle. As long as we stay above the settle, I'd like to see 62. And I think the market wants to see it as well. Looking to 1290 on ETH. ETH BTC is popping today. What are you trading? ETH BTC? Oh, you're trading ETH. I mean, someone's just holding ETH down. When ETH does go, it's going to go. Maybe I need to hop on the ETH train real quick. There's a lot of capitulation on ETH too right now. I think, especially with that break close to 1,000 yesterday, or not yesterday. Yeah, yes, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, 13th. Yeah, yesterday. I think a lot of people were getting scared and wanting to maybe call it a day. And there it goes. Single prints up here at the 1293. See the market keeps going. Nasdaq is popping. Oh, come on. Give me 2 more ticks, you little baby back bitch. Oh my goodness, that was annoying. Let's see if these sellers come back down to sell here. If they're not going to sell here, then that's so annoying. Back below the settle, they can't get the cooperation up at the top. Only 103 lots traded on the high. The Nasdaq took the C high there by, what is this, like 2 ticks, or about a point actually. Now we're seeing a seller move down to the 55. Remember we had that seller on the 51-ish, 50. Now there's another one on the 55. It really is like they're trying to play this game. I'm telling you, unless it breaks down, which it definitely could, but it looks like they're trying to play this game. The VWAP is right here at 62 now. It's slowly coming down, but it looks like they're just trying to play this game where they trick everyone to get short, trick everyone to get short, trick everyone to get short, and they bring it back above the VWAP. And unless buyers pop on, all of these people that were getting short here pile on long at the top, get absorbed, and then it just rotates back in. That's what happened yesterday in my opinion, to be honest. It was almost the same exact play. But today is, since we broke that low, it makes me a lot less confident that it's going to get done today just because we broke the low. So that kind of opens up the downside. If that low did not break, I would feel like I'm ready to send it, but a little bit of short covering down there on the 46. 45, I mean, 45.50. Yeah. 46.50. What's interesting today is the if we look here, so I have this list, this SP 500. It's organized by the weight that it carries in the S&P 500. You can see Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Tesla, all green today. ExxonMobil, Visa, Nvidia, Chevron, MasterCard, Pfizer, Bank of America, Avergo, Costco, Oracle, McDonald's, Adobe, Nike, Intel, Qualcomm, TNX is green too. AMD is green. So, even though we're looking at this and pretty much every sector is red, when we go to the market watch, you can see there is a lot of green. It's just not very much, right? It's kind of, again, leading me to think that they're trying to hold the old razzle dazzle before they pull the red carpet out and do the same trick they did yesterday. That's just lazy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a market maker, like, well, Bill, worked so good yesterday, let's try it again today. If anyone catches on, we'll change up. But, it's like you know, uh a college football team, and they just run the ball every play, same play right up the middle. Here we come, try and stop it, and they just stack up on linemen and try to run the ball every play. And why not? If it worked yesterday, great. You trade ETH USD? Oh, okay. You don't trade USDT. They pulled that bid pretty quick right there. Look for the 40 here if they can get it down there. That's where that first level, right? We kind of went every $5 for the most part. Oh, that looks like they're struggling right here again. There's a bid down here on the 40 that keeps moving around. I can't tell if they're moving up or down though. It would be helpful if we could, but I can't figure it out yet. The unweighted sectors are just getting absolutely hammered. This actually looks pretty strong today. They failed that 45. Next level up's the settle. They'll try it again. Back in that weak spot of volume around that 51-ish area. It's like it's getting smaller. They've been doing a little bit of filling here. It's like 51, or it's like 52 to like 50, 75 really. You want ETH to pop? Where are you looking to get short inside these single prints? 1290 area? It comes back down. Hey Brad, out of curiosity, what is your win average this year? Is it similar to last year? Pull up my win percentage is actually, oh, this is only since March. Oh, that's all I had. I lost all my stuff when I switched computers. Because when I switched computers, I switched to Windows 11 and then I tried to reset my computer to go back to Windows 10 and then it got all fucked and I lost all my stuff. And I didn't have that saved. But actually since March 13th, which is as far back as this thing, oh no, here we go. Oh no, mine only goes back to March 1st. Is my chart, or not my the Excel. But since then, on the long side, I've been averaging 87%, and on the short side, 78%. So I've actually been doing uh really well this year so far. So better than like my all-time average, I guess. I had a really good year last year though. Um, around that same spot, around like 78% at the end of the year. But really, I mean, if you can hit, I mean, if you can hit 60%, you're good to go. Like the only job where 60% will help you. Dan says, how do I think FMC is gonna go? I don't know, man. So I don't trade FMC like a lot of other people, to be honest. I learned how to trade the FOMC from Jim Dalton, and the way that he trades it is just the way that I trade it. I just wait for the impulse and go based off of that. Um, I do think that Pal's in a unique position to where he is almost being forced to make a decision um because of what's going on. Like he's kind of getting forced into doing a 3/4 rate hike, which is what everything's pricing in right now. And so if he didn't do that 3/4 rate hike, or if they don't, I mean, I guess he decides, right? So um if he doesn't do the 3/4 rate hike, it'll be like the first time a Fed chair hasn't gone with the committee in like 50 years or some shit. And he's kind of like damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. You know what I mean? It's it's kind. I mean, he's kind of fucked, honestly. Like he doesn't have a choice. Uh, I mean, like it's hard to explain, like because I don't know a lot about how all of that works. Right, I haven't done a lot of studying into how the Fed works. Um, but it just seems like there's a big bid stepping up on the 52.75. Look for that to hold. If it doesn't hold, look for the market to rotate back down. But somebody's trying to get filled, and there is what looks like to me some buy stops right above. So from here, I mean, they're still just doing this fucking VWAP shake. But yeah, like I mean, it's just I mean, I kind of look at it like if he doesn't listen, it could be good for the market because maybe the market needs a little bit of chill right now. A 3/4 rate hike might not um, be what's best for it, but also it could be that by him doing the 3/4 rate hike and going with it, signaling a little bit of strength, saying, okay, we're on track, we're good. Really, what everyone's worried about is inflation. And then once everyone gets past that headline, the next headline will be recession. I know the recession headlines are already kicking on a little bit every once in a while, some people, but the news itself, the financial news, the market is really concerned about inflation first. Then they'll concern themselves about the recession. But inflation is what drives you know, the price is high and then no buyers show up and then the market comes down because nobody can buy anything. So what does this say? Hang on a second. That is fucking Like there's a lot of call selling in the market today. Back down to the 40. This is where that big buyer was at. Small bounce off of that. Really that exciting. Come on, ETH. Like you have the stick. Come on, do something. You know what I have done though, Auto? Different than last year. I've taken a lot less trades this year. A lot less compared to where I was at this time last year. For sure. I will not ape in. I will not ape in. Last year though, like it was just different. You know what I mean? Because last year the ranges were a lot tighter. We weren't getting these huge 100-point ranges every single day. So I mean, I just wasn't willing to sit in such a rotational short-sided trading range, if that makes sense. Like I was just ready to get in and get out, and then that was it. So there's some liquidity down at the 30. Oh yeah, I see that 597 there. It'll be interesting because basically sellers have to reclaim this 40 level, right? This is where they tried to sell earlier during C and during D, and then they were unable to even get back really to hold it during E period, and now in F period, once again, they're back down here and they're gonna have to establish this position lower. We have seen volume coming down, right? We had our VPOC here and since moved down to here, and we're starting to see good volume come in through the profile, but most of this is inside yesterday's range. You know, during or not during, but like where the profile was pretty weak yesterday, right? 3 TPOs to 1 TPO wide. So it makes sense if this a spike, right? So a spike is looking into a new price territory, spikes from here, looking into a new price territory, kind of price exploration, right? So as we keep trading inside the spike, it does typically tend that to mean that we're accepting these lower prices, and there will probably be a probe lower, you know, possibly. Everything is, you know, probabilities. Nothing is for certain. Like the one unacceptable answer in trading that is really like the only acceptable answer is, I don't know. So it looks like they reclaim the 40. Look to see if they can run these stops down here. They're trying. Another mechanical reference. We've got that 4 low at the DC level, and now we have another weak low at the FE level. Very mechanical here. If we take a peek at the volume, you can see about 15% less than yesterday. Oh, excuse me. And you can notice that, right? Just, compare it to the tempo today compared to yesterday. Would you say above 21,000 is doo-doo zone? Margin call them all. That might have been what we saw yesterday, a pretty decent amount of margin calls. Same thing on Friday as well. There's probably some margin calls. That's kind of margin call, capitulation, sometimes can go hand in hand. Sellers need to hold below that 40 level. Need to push it back down. Where you guys at? Start initiating some shorts if you want to go. The market is just so choppy in this area from, really from the spike low to the settle. It's just been complete shit. Oh, 22.5. Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, we did crack above that weekly view up. Like 2 seconds. Just hanging out at the 40. Look at some here. Four thousand, 5,000. Some people are putting on some weird ass spreads today in the options market for daily levels. Oh, you're running to the drive-thru, bro? Where are you going? Give me some McDonald's fries while you're out, bro. Keith trolled me, so now I'm lost. Well, it's time to rage eat. uh, Missed those comments about Biden and lost the internet for the last 20 minutes. You didn't miss much. The market hasn't really done much. It just keeps kind of, rotating inside the spike. Um, there is some larger put orders coming through. I mean, like, I don't even understand. Like, look at this order right here. So, let me get rid of this for a second. You'll see. So, if we're looking at this order, right? If it's red, that means it's on the traded on the bid. If it's green, it means it traded on the ask. If it's white, it means it's spread, right? And the spread is also put in with this purple highlight. But anyways, so just 9:10, so about 2 minutes ago, actually, excuse me, somebody bought 5,000 puts, or somebody spread 5,000 puts. How much they paid? 12 grand. The delta is negative 85. These expire Friday.
Is that 12 grand or 1,200?
That's 12 grand. So this decimal is really here at the beginning. It's just how they do options. But so like if you see this thing for 5 cents right here, it's actually $5.
Wouldn't that be 126 grand then?
Oh, it would be. You're right. Yeah, my bad. 126 grand. Yeah, yeah. So 126 grand for 1,900 of them. It's a fucking lot. And look, this is a 30. Somebody bought 3,700 calls for Friday for 10K. They spread them. I don't know where they spread them with. We'll see spreads in here. Somebody sold 4,000 calls for Friday and bought 5,000 calls. I don't know, just some uh, weird options going on with big numbers for
Yeah, 126 grand's a lot.
well, I mean the price too, but like just where they're buying them for Friday is kind of weird. I mean, I don't really watch SPX options that often, but it just popped up on like the trade flash thing, and so I took a peek and it doesn't weird. So the Nasdaq here, even though F is breaking the E low on the S&P, the Nasdaq is not breaking the low yet. Everything's turned red, even energy. You're starting to see the advanced decline start to really get low down to its looks like the lowest point it's been today. It is, yeah. Same thing with the Vold too, the breath. The triple Q. So there's a low. It's a Q, Q, Q. There it is. So the QQQ is coming right down to that negative gamma level that we were talking about earlier. So if it breaks below and starts to hold, you could see market makers start to pile in to sell. But you don't want to be shorting at this low yet because we haven't got any confirmation. Not surprised to see all the weak hands today. Big boys probably waiting for it tomorrow. Normally, big boys get in position the day before, or 2 days before the FOMC. So I assume that most of the big boys were out to play yesterday and they got in position today. And then, yeah, like you said, they'll adjust tomorrow. Sebastian, what's up, bro? You guys should really read the book The Black Swan, and you'll kind of get why um a lot of financial people are having freakouts right now, because it talks about the model that they use all for managing risk, which is uh based off of standard deviations, and I think it's called a Gaussian curve, because um different. So back to the 40 level. This is a reoffer levers. Reoffer level. Sellers need to hold this level again. There just doesn't look to be a ton of supply down here. Seems. Folks says he's expecting a rally to 25K, 23,500 for sure. Is that the VWAP? Yeah, right there, weekly VWAP. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think, what Rue was saying, similarly, a lot of people are just waiting. Can't believe they couldn't repair that poor low and get that liquidity at 30. I know, that's what I'm saying. There's no supply today. It's weak. There's just no supply today. Nobody wants to sell the low because they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow at the Fed. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I'm thinking like, oh, I think there could just be a fat rip, but I'm also, a optimist, which can sometimes be negative in the market because I can get blinded by the darkness. It's like the opposite of the song. Maybe I should make a song. Blinded by the dark. It's not very catchy. So back to the 45. They lost the 40, back to the 45. Remember here, this kind of 42, 45 area was an area that we've seen kind of just bounce around all day. And then they kind of been fighting back and forth over the settle. But we're one time framing down with that F breaking that low. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars in a row that have failed to take the high of the previous bar. I mean, like I said, the Nasdaq F did not break the E low. And remember, the Nasdaq E did break the D and the C high. See, this is what I'm talking about. Check this out. Okay. And I know nothing's going to be perfect. Okay. We know that. But I didn't. These are just put and call levels. They're not support and resistance levels. So if you're looking at it and you're thinking like, fucking somebody get this guy some help, he doesn't know how to draw, um, you know, well let me know because I'm always down for a little bit of help. But anyways, you can kind of see this being that negative gamma level, and so as soon as we get above it, so you imagine if dealers get short, this is 274, and this is the triple Q. I'm just using that as an example because we're right here on this level today and we keep kind of coming back and forth. You can assume that unless we establish below it, the market maker is buying breaks and selling rallies, right? If we get above here, this 280 level, you can assume the market maker is going to start buying. If we get below here and establish, you can assume the market maker is going to start selling, right? Based off of the options that they're short. So if you sell a put, right? If you're short a put, that means you expect the market to go up. So if they're selling puts here, so everyone buying puts from them, retail traders, everybody just buying puts from the market maker, expecting the market maker to go down. Well, if they sold a 275 put and price gets below it and starts hanging out below it, well, they're going to need to sell the market. They're going to need to go with the market because the price that they sold their put for, let's say they sold this put for $1 and now it's in the money, it's down here, now it's worth $2. Well, they're only going to be able to make up this difference by selling the shares, the triple Q shares, or maybe they're selling the Nasdaq futures, depending upon how they're playing it. But that's what we can possibly use these levels for. And it's like, I mean, they're not exact, but and they're not on everything, of course, right? They're only on a couple of things, unfortunately. Cool. On Google, yeah, you can see Google's getting right along that top line, right? Zero gamma on Google's 24. Amazon right at a level above it, 105 being the resistance. Tesla came back down to that support, has since bounced above it. Facebook's too. Oh, but it's not Facebook anymore. I don't know if they fixed. Yeah, you can see they're way below on there. I don't know. Back to that 40 level, they're trying to get on it. It looks like some buyers stepped up right below the 40 level to absorb. So if we do get back below that 40 level, you can assume that you'll start to get some short or some liquidation from longs if they start hanging out below 40. So 40 here, now that we've kind of established it big time, is going to become a bigger level for us. And we'll play above the Globex low to the settle a little bit if we're able to establish above the 40. Below the 40, there's going to be opportunity for the downside. I still, I still think that 37.20 is not off the table that we were looking for yesterday. Never got to it. 37.20 to 37.25 maybe. Watch the 40 level. That's just, you can just see the reoffer, like, you know, volumes moving down to try to sell this level. And if they can't hold it below, just shows their weakness, and you'll probably get a little correction of inventory. If we do get some initiated sellers coming and holding this below the 40, the longer it holds below the 40, the greater it will increase the odds that they'll correct that poor low. And remember, you know, little key things like we broke yesterday's low, even though we didn't break it by much, that's what lessens my confidence and kind of, you know, lowers the probabilities um, of not getting downside continuation, right? If we didn't break the previous day's low, then there would be good odds that, you know, this thing could just be trapping a bunch of shorts, and the upside is the side. But because we broke yesterday's low, the can is open more for the downside than the upside, because honestly, to the upside, we really didn't get anything going. The B period was really just, you know, more of exhaustion, and then came back down rather quickly. And I still, you know, I just have that gut feeling, just very cautious trading it. But you know, if I was a fucking billionaire, I didn't have to worry about 31 years of seconds. I would just be like, yeah, I'll take a couple, let them ride. Market's just in the tightest range in the whole world right now. Japan is reportedly seeking to make cutting edge chips as soon as 2025. Watch the 40. That's where they got a reoffer here. If they get out of the way, you could be looking at the settle. G period opening up. Let's see what they got. One time framing down sends B period. Value overlapping to lower. Don't let my hopeful voice get you trapped on the long side. Right? This is an area that we've talked about not trading in at all. For this exact reason, because it's just been back and forth this whole time. Imagine if the Fed did that. Imagine if the Fed was just like, tomorrow they're just like, you know what? You guys been over here bitching about getting 3/4 basis point rate hike. How about this? Here's 2 points. Boom. Really clap the market. I was like, price that in, bitches. And the market crashes. And he's like, don't mess with me. Starting to come down here. They held the 40 pretty strong right there. Remember that. See if they can fix this poor low. Short covering. Short covering on the 33 3/4 there. So watch that level, 33 3/4. They need to hold it below. Fucked up. Weak. Embarrassing. Call yourself a seller there. Let's see, this 38 level was the area that buyers were trying to get in. Looked like they got liquidated right there. We pop right back up to it. See if the offer is going to move down and protect this level. About 37 or 38 to 40 here. I'll be right back, guys. Some you guys want some motivational music on here first before I go? Taco Bell. Bro, hope you got the box and brought some for the team. Not. Oh, bro. Oh, here we go. Can you guys hear this?
Show me your mind. I got options, bitch. Talking like Honda, right to custom shit. I'ma get pushing cars on all my stocks. I has my shit invested in everything from value tested dividends. Living in houses in the here's my life is different.
Alright, I'll be right back.
I've been doing that since I was little, yeah. Bigger than that. I'm doing the same thing on the biggest scale. Listen here, I could make $1 million anywhere. This ain't fair. I don't show my face cause I am everywhere. Let me in. You don't gotta like me, but the message ill. This is real. Never make investments based on how you feel. Pick a field, but you cannot quit it till you get a deal. Need a will, otherwise you'll waste your time just spinning wheels. I do this opposite shit. They thought it was easy, like I got here without reading, like I didn't give up sleeping. Tell me what the fuck's a weekend. Tell me what the fuck's your reason for this dream. You keep on dreaming. It's gonna leave if you don't lead it, huh? Got $1 in a dream. I need a couple cents. I'ma go and sell some preem, pay my mama's rent. But I bought that shit. Watch me call the top and shit. I'm confident the cycle ends, and when it does, I'll buy the dip and then I get a nicer whip. The guy disliking all my vids will probably be a lot more pissed, but I'm just gonna pray he blessed. Wish I had time to hate this shit. I'm busy chasing greatnessness. I'm trading when the fade begins and selling when they duck kick in. I be talking options. I got lots of those in life. I could get you started, but I can't teach you to drive. I turn on my monitors and swear I come alive. Cash is always liquid, always dripping. I got options, bitch. Talking like Honda, right there, got some shit. I'ma get pushing cars on all my stocks. I hedge my shit, invested in everything from value tech to dividends. Living in houses in the hills, my life is different. Businesses, I've been doing that since I was little, yeah. Bigger than that, I'm doing the same thing on the biggest scale. Listen here, I could make $1 million anywhere. This ain't fair, I don't show my face cause I am everywhere. Let me in, you don't gotta like me, but the message ill. This is real, never make investments based on how you feel. Pick a field, but you gotta get it till you get a deal. This is real. Yeah, pray for all of y'all. I hope you never lose your goals. The mock is valid, don't be afraid to take it slow. This has it possible to make the money if you broke. And mine's the obstacle, the strangest secret that you know. Adaptable, I had to go DiCaprio, plain as the wolf. Subtract the host, but add some dough. The rooster didn't come to roast, about to cope. But back with folks, it's rapid growth. I have a coat, I have a rose, I have some homes, I have to go contractual. Selling those, but not my soul. I sell the clothes to buy some more. I'm with my bros, divide the dough. My high and low, my favorite hoe. I hit it when she drop it low. I'm never at the cop it close. Only buy options as homes. You don't got those, leave me alone.
All right, I'm back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you are looking for the music, that was Uncle Answer's Options Trading Anthem right there. Type in Uncle Answers into YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. He's fucking everywhere. Guys, where's our fucking guest star? Today is... Oh, let's talk about, while the market's just, you know, being a little chicken shit and being afraid to break this low. Oh, here we go. There was just a ton of buying on that 32.75, all absorbed. Big sell order, 37.30. There they go. Damn. Still cautious. Just trying to watch the auction here, guys. Trying to absorb some information, see what's the deal here. You can see a little bit of short covering going on down at the 30, buyers stepping up like the 30, 50. That's where all that liquidity was at. So it made sense to get down there and scoop some of that up. Now we're just trying to see, our sellers going to defend, and they'll be looking to defend this 35 level this time. So we popped back up to that 40, or that, well, the second, we popped back up to 40 the first time, came down, popped back up to the 38, popped down. Then this time came all the way down to the 30, and now they'll look to hold the 35. Offer moves down here on the 32 3/4, moves away. Trying to lure in some of these. Triple Q's right at that level. Watch how they act together, just so you guys can get a thing. ETH, what happened? It came back down. That's what you're looking for. Oh, but you didn't get filled, huh, Dan? Oh, that is annoying. This 77.66 is not one of the levels. It's the open today. I have a open level on EOS. I don't have to guess or mark them all myself. On to the next one. That's what happens. So here they go, 35. This is a reoffer level. They're going to have to come back in and try to hold this here, or else that 38.40 is going to get tested again. This is their opportune moment to kind of initiate the short. That was the impulse right there. 35. The QQQ has $1 million in calls today and $53 million in puts. I had to move it back. I can't see my time in sales. Shorts getting nervous. They need to hold this level. Only takes one to cover, and then they just give it all up. Dan says, guess there was a distribution at the 1260 area, which makes sense on the 15-minute, but I just thought it would be test demand at 1300. Talking about on ETH, yeah. I mean, there's those single prints still sitting in here on ETH. right there. Redfin just announced they're asking 8% of their employees to leave. Wonder what impact that has on this super good unemployment rate that we have going on. Don't they just look so juicy? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be nice to see if it fails up there again. That could be just a nice short back down into value. Like you could probably catch a short around here back down, even just into these highs would be a nice short. I'm not fucking with any crypto until after tomorrow, to be honest with you. Yeah, how far down did the Nasdaq get?
Like 22.7, I think.
Yeah, so G broke E and um, F, but not D or C low on the Nasdaq.
Holy crap! Did you see Celsius? Jesus.
Oh, I was hearing about it.
It, well, it's up 80. It's up 90%, but it's already come back. So it must have been up like 180% for the day. I was just looking at 10 minutes ago. It was up 40%. Holy.
Oh yeah, look
Whoa.
at holy shit.
They had to stop trading, and he was just on Invest Answers, one of my favorite shows, talking about how they have twice the liquidity uh, than they need, and how they'll never, what happened to Luna will never happen to them. And 3 days later, he's practically shutting the doors.
I mean, that's a 279% move and like and 100% retracement of it, pretty much. Wild.
Whoa.
They've got to hold this 35 level. If they don't hold it, they're just gonna fucking blow it. These sellers. Back to rotation, probably. Dun, dun, dun. French Min Limer on EDF says all options on the table. What the fuck does that even mean? What's he talking about?
All right.
Microsoft ends Internet Explorer support in Windows 10 tomorrow. Does anybody use Internet Explorer still?
I go back and forth between that and AOL. No, it was Netscape. That's what it was, Netscape.
Oh, I remember Netscape. Yeah, Netscape. And then depending upon the internet that you had a different browser back in the day. Do you remember that? Depending upon who your internet service was from, kind of
Yeah.
depended upon how your browser went. Internet Exploder.
But it does just show that the people that start the tech aren't always on top of it. So I think ETH isn't going to last. You know,
What do you think it's going to go back to zero?
um, I don't know about zero because it's so big, but it's not going to be. It might not be one of the top 10. I mean, with those kind of gas fees, it's so slow. I mean, I don't know how 2.0 is going to come out, but I mean, it used to have like 80% of market share, and it's down to I forget what it is right now, but like 30% or something. And but it's still getting like I think they said 500,000 wallets a week or something crazy.
Yeah, and the
But
market's down 66% as a whole, so it only being down 30% while the rest of the market's down 60%, that's not bad.
it's true. It's true.
But I mean, I don't know a ton of like the intra
Well,
workings of ETH, to be honest. Like all the ETH that I have, I bought, a while back because, it was an opportunity to make some cash and, just fucking hold it
Luna took a
forever.
big, yeah, Luna and Sol took a big share. Now Luna's gone, but it's just that the gas. I mean, they thought they had a good idea with doing the gas where you could you know pay more to be fast, whatever. But I guess they didn't really think that all these rich people were just gonna take advantage of the crap. I mean, I finally won a pre-sale, and I was able to buy like 1,000 of super farm for like tenths of a penny or whatever. And it's like cool. It's like get on there. Turns out my gas fees were $6,000, so I didn't buy it. It's like
Damn.
that's stupid. There's so many people are trying to get on it. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's like that's dumb. I mean, I've had to pay.
And where do
I mean, I've
those
had to,
fees go? Like
they don't. That's the whole thing. They don't.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like you've gotta just assume like, somebody is $2 trillion richer, right?
Yeah.
Crypto market cap went from 3 trillion, right? How much was it? Was it 3 trillion?
2.6 is the highest. I
Yeah,
don't think it
and
ever hit three.
oh, okay, so it's close to 3 trillion, but now it's under, right? Like, I mean,
Under a trillion.
somebody has that money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because there was
zero
no
sum
there
game
was no
for something, right?
physical there was really no physical goods exchanged, right? Yeah, fucking what are those things called? Um yeah, the gas fees go to the miners. Yeah, but the miners don't make that much money, dude. Some of these gas fees are wild. I mean, maybe just that many people are mining ETH, but like, I, that just seems like a lot. It seems like if you've got to pay $6,000 in gas fees on ETH for just one transaction, sometimes, that seems like
Yeah, it's shitty when you gotta pay transaction fees, gas fees just to move from a wallet, your own wallet, to another one of your own wallets. Shit like that. It's like
yeah, that's just stupid. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know a lot about
I
how
don't
the
either.
like the workings of it is. So
And then when they started burning the ETH, which was good, it started making it go up. But why did they have to burn it? Why couldn't they donate to charity or something? Um, I don't know.
well, because it then wouldn't make the value of ETH go up.
Well, that's true.
It'd still be circulation. I mean, if it works like currency, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Oh, all those fees still go to the miners? I feel like the ETH miners are fucking cleaning house.
Let's see how
I
much.
know, I know James would love if like crypto went to zero. I mean, if you guys remember a long time ago, when James was on stream, he said that Bitcoin was going back to 20K. And he even forgot about it, but I reminded him about it yesterday when we were talking. And I was like, dude, remember? I can't even remember how fucking long ago that was. It makes me want to go through the videos, but I remember him talking about that. But he's
Well, like
always just
Travis,
been a fucking crypto hater, so.
it says Ethereum miners earned a record 830 million in January. Miner revenue jumped over 120% from the previous month. Wow. So I guess they're making money.
It is actually pretty good. You just need to know how to work around it, have a node to get in front of it, all the transactions and so on, Thomas says. Well, dude, Thomas, if you want to jump in the Discord and share some knowledge about that, that'd be awesome because I know there's plenty of people that would. I mean, we even have like a couple of people that mine right now. Um, and so if you have some ways to make it more profitable, I'm sure they are open ears, naturally, as everyone should be. So we saw him give up the 35, and here they go knocking on the 38.40 level. This is the last kind of level here. Oh, that's a pretty decent response actually. But yeah, this is kind of the last level here. Um, that if they give up, that you might get another rotation back up to the settle.
Yeah, ETH actually costs right now what I originally bought it for like 2 years ago when I first got into it.
I think I got ETH at I think it was close to like 700 or 900 bucks. I can't remember.
That's pretty good.
But it was going like I mean we were just like making it free over and over. So there's really like it really is just like a no cost value at this point. That's why I don't have like any attachment to it. Um, you know, I just think that it's gonna be a longer term hold. Like I don't mind letting it sit for years because I don't need it. You know what I mean? But it's a different story of you know if you've got it leveraged or stuff like that. It's like some longs are trying to take profit here. Little mechanical selling off the F halfback. Back to the 40 level. You didn't get a lot of buying last time here. It looked like a lot of people were covering up here, so caused that little push out as they kind of raced to get out of the market. But let's see if the buyers want to step up now that we've flipped up above this 38 to 40 level, if they hold it. Twitter is currently down 30% from the level that Elon Musk agreed to buy it at. They held it. See what we get. H period's opening up. There we go. We get that cessation of the one time framing to the downside, indicating that the market's probably going to just continue being rotational as it has been. And we'll see what they try to give here. This was a higher key level earlier. Remember the 45 level. We've kind of been going up by fives. These sellers tried it every 5 levels as they got up. They gave it up. It came up almost to the VWAP. They couldn't hold it. No buyers showed up. Pushed it back down. They piled back in down at the 40. They were able to push the low all the way down to that. What was that? The low today. The low was 28 quarter, and then they were unable to hold the 40 a second time, and then here comes a little bit of a Bounceruski. Nice. Yeah, it's always good to do a little bit of resetting, Pop. If you get in your own head, or if the market gets to you, because it does. Interesting. The Nasdaq is up today, about a 1/4%, but ES is down a 1/4%. Dow's down 0.5%. Russell's down about 0.5% as well. Bonds are down about 0.5%. Gold's down a full percent. Oil's up 1%. The VIX is down about 3%. Let's see retest of the 40-38 level here. See if they hold it. So basically, here's my thinking going into this 40-38 level, right? If buyers are able to hold this level, that means that they absorbed on the low and we pushed back up, right? If they don't hold the level, I'm thinking that that H period breaking the G high was just a blow off of excess inventory that was a little bit too short down at the low, with late traders piling in at the low. Couple long hedge. Let me give Elon a call real quick and we'll get that going. Where's he at?
I might pump, but I don't dump.
75 cents. Now back down to 60 cents. Still up 100% climbing. That's crazy. Up 114%. Wow. You know what's going on?
Little volume coming in here. Back at that 40 level. You're talking about with Celsius?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
From 40-something cents to $2.75. Back down. Wow.
Look at where the point of control's at. The volume point of control, right? It shifted down. So back at this 45 level is where we saw longs get out last time. Really, they started like at the G high, they started just pouring out as fast as they could, causing that blow off. And you know, so far they held that 40-38 level, but no advancement really above this level, right? Up to the, you know, 40, what was that, like 42, 43? Starting to get a little bit tight here. The range getting tight again. What are you looking for? 21.7? Back down to that low. So there it goes. A little bit of a pop up here. See if they can keep climbing and see if this bid keeps chasing here. Target will be the settle, naturally. I've just got one more lot left and I've got my stop at 44. Starting to look a little bit overdone up here too, so let's see. Come on, you can do it. We believe in you. All right, Patrick, have a good day, man. There's the settle. We expect some mechanical selling off the settle naturally, all right? Let's watch for the retracement. Watch for any offers that move down to try to push or hold on the 50. So now the trade's 10 points up. So this is kind of that area where I'm thinking, yeah, it'd be nice to get up there and get up to that, the last and the spike base, but I'm 10 points up and, I don't mind covering right here. Well, I guess not quite 10 because I was at 42 quarter, 41 quarter, 39 quarter, 39, 41 quarter. I guess I need 42 quarter. All right, boom. There we go. Now I'm happy. 10 points. Oh, all right, guys. It's about that time. I got to get some exercise in. Yesterday, I basically just took it so easy that my body started to hurt because I was taking it too easy. You guys know what I'm talking about. As far as the rest of today goes, honestly, it looks just rotational, right? Like, I mean, the big level here is that 62 level. It's got to get above that level. I think they're playing the razzle dazzle game where they hold it below VWAP forever, hold it below VWAP forever, and then they remove the offer, and then we get this massacre to the upside. One time frame down for most of the morning, so good odds that that can continue, right? There's obviously a seller in the market, or at least people unwilling to buy, right? The advanced decline, let me drag this over real quick. So if we're looking at the advanced decline, right, we can see it's down here negative. The Vold is down here negative. Breath is kind of positive. NASDAQ negative. NYSE. Take a look at Apple, still below its open, but compared to yesterday's close is why this is showing green here. The tick really has been dominated, especially if we make this thing big. You can kind of see today has been dominated. Compare these triangles and shows the close above or below zero, right? A lot more red ticks, and you can see this unweighted sector really getting sold compared to the weighted sector, which is why the market hasn't rolled over. So when we see something like this big divergence, we want to take a look at the market sectors like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and put some alerts on them, right? So wherever you put your alerts at, put some alerts on some key lows that you find that you might think, okay, if Apple breaks this level, it might be time for me to fuck off, right? Things like that. That's what I'll be doing for sure. I think I only had one trade today that was never in profit before getting stopped out. Damn. Were you just, what was happening? You were buying the highs and selling the lows, or?
I think he's saying that he was always in profit. Only one trade, or maybe not.
Oh, only one trade wasn't in profit, so like you let a bunch of winners turn into losers? Is that what you're saying? VWAP's at 58. So as we get close to this 58, a bunch of people just selling the VWAP. And some offers just holding it down, but like I said, I think it's just lined up to just do a run. The key will be, so here's the key. Oh, they never hit your take profit? Yeah, I mean, I was talking to somebody about that recently too, and there's nothing wrong, especially when you're first getting the groove of things or the feel or the tempo of the market, to take those profits early. If you get into profit quick, there's nothing wrong with just taking it real quick. You know what I mean? It'll come with time, and you'll start to pay the fees, but as long as you're winning the trades, you're getting, um, you're pretty much, it'll break even. So, and you're getting like a free lesson in that case. So the key here with that 62 level being the key for me, the 62 level, when it comes above the 62 level, if it comes above the 62 level, right? I have no idea. If it comes above the 62 level and holds, that target will become 71. 71, I don't imagine is going to offer that much resistance because it's going to be a little bit later in the day. It already is kind of a little bit later in the afternoon, right? Everyone's at lunch right now. So it'll be after they come back from lunch, and they're not going to try to get caught in anything crazy, right? So they'll probably just get out of the way, and we'll look for sellers up here, um, around like this 3,800 level, maybe like 84. I have written down. Yesterday's point of control is up at 82, which would be the high. Yeah, 82 to 84. This probably act as a bit of resistance up there, but I don't know if there'll be much resistance up at the settle. Back below the settle now. But yeah, other than that, going forward from today, I don't know what the streaming schedule will be, right? We're starting our process of moving across the country starting tomorrow. So I will try to um, figure out something. If anything, maybe I'll just, I mean, I don't know. I'll just have to figure it out as we go. I'm still going to be active in the Discord naturally, but um, yeah. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. Thank you for hanging out, and I will catch you guys all tomorrow. See you later, Trin. See you later, Adam. See you later, Pop.
Hey, man, have a good day.